live, no?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't see the live yet. I'm looking for it, though. Maybe we're gonna get it in a moment. Oh, there we go. Should be live. Okay. Do we have audio for the live stream?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, let me just check that on my phone real quick. Yes, we do have audio. We are back, guys. Sorry for technical difficulties. Sometimes technology just beats us, but we are back with 4 minutes left to go in the qualifying session. In the meantime, what we have lost, let's get you up to speed. Crowley Voice is now sitting at provisional pole, still sitting provisional pole with 1.9.922, so it's already the best time from this session and from last season's Tier 3, as Larson, who finally fixed his third sector, delivered his best lap so far, is on front row at the moment with 110.3. Nico moved up to P3 with 110.344. Zoom is still now pushed down to P4. In the meantime, we've also lost 3 drivers in the session, Vatsais, Tilde, and Piggy. So both Alfa Romeo boys are out of the qualifying session and the Alpha Tauri one. I'm pretty sure at least one of them has crashed because we saw a tire in the middle of the main straight. So that is a sign of somebody going out the not so pleasant way. Anyway, let's see who's gonna take pole, as we still have 3 minutes, so at least one more round for everybody if they start right about now. And I still got a couple of more seconds before the final round, so this should be the last rounds of them. Lepson goes P2, 1.10.174, so that is very close to going underneath 110, but still the only man to do so far is the Crowley Voice, the championship leader. Ferrari driver is still sitting up top, but the drivers right behind him are getting closer as he's on an outlap himself, so he'll try to improve one more time. First second is there's a yellow flag as Crowley was letting someone through. You can see Zoom is on a hot lap. And let's see where this is going to lead him. Ooh, Zoom is improving nicely after first sector. This should be a good time if he doesn't make it worse. A bit of slip up coming out of that corner, but it's still looking good. The Williams driver, how is it going to look like after second sector? One of the most important corners right now on the whole track. Lepson retires, and this is, I believe, in the pit lane. Zoom entering the final main straight, I believe, for the final time with 2 minutes left to go, or it goes another lap. And Zoom from P5 moves up to P2, and he's the second driver of the day to go underneath 110 as he joins the 1.9 club with Crowley Voice. Yeah, so close to Crowley. Very close indeed. Yeah, so now can Larson or Nico get even closer than that? There is a potential. Dressing Gecko has retired from the session in the pit lane as well, so some drivers will not be making improvements. Zoom is done. Crowley is on an outlap, so he's gonna have to go one more round if he wants to be sure of that pole position, as Nico and Larson are also getting ready to start in their hot laps. Wonder Tommy, after invalidating his lap, I believe he's gonna go for another one. Eversnax is just beginning his hot lap. The AlphaTauri driver, Mazavins, I believe that's how it's pronounced, is right now in his, I believe, hot lap in second sector, entering third one. I mean, it's not improving, so it's weird, hard to tell. Joel is improving, sitting at P11, so we're gonna have to keep our eyes open where she's gonna go, but that's in a minute to be checked as of right now.
I can hear the game. Maybe the audio is different in the live stream?
I need to check that with the chat. Give me a moment. So if we have any audio issues, if you don't hear the game, if you don't hear anything, please let us know. What are you listening to right now? Is it our beautiful voices, or is it just the game, or is it nothing, or is it just one of the things? So if anything is wrong with the audio, let us know. If it's just the game audio, that's too bad, but if you don't hear us, well, that's even worse. I think they can hear us. Wait a minute.
Okay,
they can hear us. Yeah, they can definitely hear us because I just checked the live stream on my phone, and I think they can hear the game as well because I turned up the volume for a moment. They can hear us. Oh, anyway, Crowley Voice, he invalidated this lap, so it means he's gonna have to go one more unless he can't. No, it's done. It's no more time. So Crowley is done with his session. Now Larson and Nico, the final hope for someone else to good pole position. Ocean Chief says, all good, thank you very much. Larson coming out of Sector 2, most likely one of the final hopes for anybody to dethrone Crowley Voice right on the edge of the wall. Can he do it? The Aston Martin driver showed a lot of potential in his first runs, very much on the edge as he goes on the main street. Zoom gets the provisional pole position. Is it secured? I believe it is. Larson does not improve. Nico is the final man on the hot lap from the top boys who could fight for pole position. As he hits the main straight, the Haas driver, only P3, Zoom snatches it with a huge gap. Look at the difference between Crowley and Zoom. Where was he hiding that? As he goes confident pole position with 1.9.5. That is a wonderful time. Crowley from the front row, Nico P3, then Lepson. Warner Tommy improves to go P5, setting Larson down to P6. Vatsize remains 7th, Snacks 8th. Dressing Gecko and Mazevins, that's the top 10. And the bottom 10 goes Wesley, Joel, Tilde, Skin, Tony, Piggy. Then the rest of the boys behind them are also Inferno Koi and Boosted Mess. So this is how we will line up for the race. I mean, incredible performance from Zoom to be so ahead of the pack in Monaco, where you are not allowed to make a single mistake or it's going to cost you your whole session. Is absolutely beautiful, but the toughest part of the job is right ahead of him, because now he's gonna have to do the whole thing again, but for at least 39 laps. So yeah, that's gonna be tough for him. But then again, everybody will be on the same conditions. Anybody can make a mistake, so we'll see who's gonna make the least amount of them and pick up the win in Monaco, which will be very much important. You can gain huge amount of advantage in the championship, or you can lose chunk of the lead in championship, so you have to be very careful in Monaco. There's everything to be gained and all to be lost.
The Drivers' Championship right now?
At the moment, Crowley is leading by plenty of points ahead of Zoom, but since he's starting with P1 now and Crowley right behind him, this will be very interesting. See how this is going to go down as we await the drivers to line up on the grid for the formation lap. And after the formation lap, we're going to begin racing in Monaco. What are you munching on? You've got some kebab?
No?
I can hear that aluminum foil.
Yeah, there's some papers on my desk.
Ah, okay. I thought you were having some dinner.
You wouldn't hear me then.
Okay. So.
Or you will hear some strange voices coming from my microphone.
Strange voices. Okay. I will make sure to remember that you make strange voices when eating. Anyway, where are the drivers? We are waiting for the formation lap. There it is, formation lap for the Monaco Grand Prix. Let's check the tire situation. That is most importantly a message to you, my friend. We need to see everything on the stream for our viewers. We've got plenty of mediums, a whole lot of mediums, and just 3 set of hards. Interesting. And 40 drivers already DSQ from the formation lap. So yeah, that happened. I mean, wonder what went wrong. Anyway, we've lost 3 drivers in formation lap. I mean, they will start the race, of course, but they will have cold tires.
If they start the formation lap, because I see them at the starting point. So maybe...
Oh, okay. Maybe they didn't start at all, but then again, why? It's still weird. Anyway, yeah, they're just gonna have cold tires, which is not a good thing into Saint-Denis, as the turn 1 in Monaco does not forgive. He's like, you know, if the god forgives your sins, the turn 1 in Monaco doesn't. So they're gonna have to be really careful coming into that corner to avoid colliding with anybody and anything, especially those walls that are very close to you. Every single part of the track. Zoom will be leading from Crowley Voice on mediums, Nico on the hards. This is a very good setup for Zoom and Crowley, who might use this advantage to pull away immediately from the pack, who will be stuck behind slower Nico as he'll be on a slower tire compound. This is a great setup for the championship rivals. Nico with a bit of a different strategy, maybe hoping for later than earlier safety car, but I'm pretty sure the safety car is going to be pretty early in this GP. I have a feeling. I'm not even going to ask you how many safety cars we're going to have this race, because I believe that having max safety cars in Monaco is not a question, it's a must-have at this point. So let's just stay with this mentality. Of course, I wouldn't wish to have one. Yeah, maybe it's turned off. You might be right. No idea. Okay. Anyway, the drivers are lining up for the grid as we're about to go racing on the streets of Monte Carlo for the eighth time this season, I believe. Is this round 8? Right. Or is this round 9? This is round. Let me check that real quick. Jesus Christ, it's not working. Round. I don't know. Which round is this? It doesn't show me. Anyway, let's get racing in Monaco. And they're off. Who's gonna make the best start? Zoom or Crowley Voice? Zoom is having the inside line and he will remain the leader into turn 1. What's gonna happen behind them? We've got some position swaps into turn 1, and are they gonna make it clean? Yes, they did. Everybody survived turn 1. I am more than impressed. And there are some position swaps early on, surprisingly. And Zoom is pulling away. Crowley trying to follow him through. Nico keeping up nicely behind him, but now there's gonna be a pile behind Nico. First DNF. Before even half of the first lap, Joel 8 is out of the Monaco Grand Prix. Virtual safety car has hit the track. I mean, quite not literally, but you know, you get the point. It's a VSC for a moment. So the first DNF came even before the first half of the first lap. So yeah, that's the thing. Anyway, now we hope for some more racing. Yeah, to be honest, me too. I was expecting them to not make it through corner 1, and I'm like, wait, they actually made it through turn 1. Oh,
virtual safety car should be over about now.
Yep, yes. There we go. We are ready to go. Zoom is pulling away. You are quite the Nostradamus. You predicted that quite nicely. And Crowley Voice is right on the back of the Williams driver. Now, Nico, he's going to have most likely the biggest pile of cars stacking up behind him as he's on the slowest tire set, and him and 2 other drivers in the back. And we've got first pit stop. Piggy is hitting the pits, most likely due to damage by colliding with either Wall or Joel. So is Tilde. Tilde is also in the pits right now, so 2 drivers already making their first pit stops early on. Difficult for them, but don't worry, you're going to have plenty of opportunities to get back into this race as Zoom is making his best effort trying to pull away for over 1 second from Crowley Voice to not give him DRS. He knows that if he do, it's going to be difficult for the championship leader to catch up to him, but then again, it's also going to be difficult to pull away from the Ferrari driver. He is doing all he can right now, and Crowley starting to go back a bit, but then again, there's plenty of race remaining, and now the number 1 priority in this race for everybody is to stay alive, because if they're gonna crash, then the pace is worthless. You're gonna have to focus on even making it across the finish line. Then, secondary, they're gonna have to focus on the pace itself. So we've got a pretty big gap between the McLaren of Dressing Gecko and Vatsai. Something must have happened there. That is a big gap separating the top, and then another gap is building up behind them. Zoom makes another fastest lap, improving from the one before. Wesley is the 3rd man to go into the pits as the DRS gets enabled on this lap, and Zoom actually managed to build over 1 second worth of gap.
He's using his DRS. He wants to get away.
Yeah, he's running the battery. But Crowley is also using the battery.
I don't know if that's... Zoom's always on.
Piggy gets 5 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. I wonder if he's going to retire or not. Anyway, Crowley Voice is dropping back.
His DRS always on.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be effective if Crowley doesn't get the DRS, but Crowley is getting closer, pretty much, and he does have a bit of battery, at least way more than Zoom, so I don't think Zoom is going to get away from Crowley Voice in time before the DRS, so unless Crowley makes a mistake, this could be enough for Zoom to build over a second worth of advantage. Is he going to make it? I believe he will, unless Crowley makes a great final turn. Not so much, and Zoom is safe for now, as he doesn't allow Crowley to get a DRS, and Nico does get a DRS on Crowley, so we're going to have to keep our eyes open on what's going to happen there, but since these guys are not looking to overtake each other any moment, I'm trying to find who's the closest person to a possible overtake. Boosted Mess makes his plan stopped, of course not a planned one. Inferno Koi is sneaking up behind Maze Vince, but it's going to take him a great position to overtake. He's going to have to do it in the best possible moment. I believe these two are the closest as of right now to a possible overtake in the midfield, as the guys from the top are spread apart. There's also Eversnax trying to get the best of his opponent ahead of him, dressed in Gecko, but who knows who's going to make the overtake first. Inferno Koi going a bit too deep on that chicane, losing a bit of time towards his opponent from the AlphaTauri, as Wesley gets ahead of Boosted Mess after he comes out of the pit lane. We got a yellow flags, and Nico is the second man to be DNF'd from the race. Yellow flags, and we expect safety car? No, we don't. We don't expect safety car? Weird, bizarre, I would have to even say, but okay, I guess the game is game, we'll keep on racing.
In the middle of the road.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not the one setting the rules, I'm just the one commentating them, so yeah, let's keep it going. Zoom is still leading the Grand Prix with 1.4 lead over Crowley Boys.
To break away from Crowley.
Yeah, but I'm looking at Crowley ERS, and he also wasted a lot while still not being in the ERS range. Look at this. They actually have about the same amount of ERS. He's got 68, Crowley. Zoom's got 65, so it's very close. And Zoom built quite a nice gap. Now Crowley's trying to get closer, and he's doing it quite well, but it's still not in the ERS zone. Okay, so let's see who can make overtake
I asked
in
you
the
about
future.
the championship before, because even if Crowley doesn't finish at first place today, he doesn't lose the championship title.
I mean, is he? I don't think so. He'll be already. No idea. We're gonna count it after the race. You know, I'm not so good at math, especially not in the middle of the race. Anyway,
You
Crowley
have
Boys.
over there to help you. Come on.
They're not that helpful. Sometimes they are, but sometimes.
Let us about the championship. Come on, do the math. Do something.
Do them up, do something.
What we are paying for?
Ooh, Wonder Tommy's Ferrari was a ghost for a moment, and I wonder, was that because of some kind of damage? I see it still has a front wing, so I'm curious what happened there.
Yeah, if you have damage at the front wing, the game doesn't show that. Even if it's broken, it has to be the whole front wing crashed in order for you to see it.
Okay. Maybe he was pausing, I don't know. Well, the closest man right now to an possible overtake is Larson on Wonder Tommy, so maybe we should stick with those guys. But then again, in Monaco, don't expect too many overtakes. We are, of course, expecting crashes, as we already lost both Haas drivers. Of all
Crowley
people, they were both Haas drivers. Yeah, Crowley is getting closer to Zoom. Yeah. That's going to be crucial. At the later stages of the race, he has to stay close to him, especially before the pit stops, so he won't get him with a strategy. I mean, at this moment, all Zoom can do is try to pull away from Crowley while Crowley has to stay in the DRS. We had overtake! Inferno Koi makes a move on Maze Vince in the corner where we I'm pretty sure we've lost Nico there, so that's quite a move from the Red Bull driver, going up into P9, and that makes me wonder, was he just that much faster with the overtake, or was Maze Vince that much slower? Anyway, something may happen in here in a moment. Also, Eversnax is crawling up behind Dressing Gecko, so there are plenty of things we have to watch out in the future, but as of right now, it's rather peaceful here in Monaco, until the next DNF, of course, which can happen at any point in time in the race. We have to stay away for that. As of right now, not many things going on. I have to admit, I was expecting much more chaos than we have right now. Of course, there's a long way to go, but only 2 drivers lost in 7 laps.
Imagine how bad this track layout is, that the drivers at the first sector have to, after turn 3, they have to avoid the bump on the road because of the tree. Oh, ever nice.
Oh, snacks.
Hit the rear end. I don't know if he has damage.
Yeah, and he did it right after Icewind just typed in chat, "Come on, Eversnax, let's overtake these cars." I mean, he took it literally, but that is definitely not the way to do
now,
so.
Who's
Anyway,
the black cat? Who is the black cat? Now,
you mean the black sheep, or do you mean like black cat, like unlucky?
He jinxed them.
He jinxed them. Ah, come on.
The black cat in Greece is bad luck,
Oh,
you know?
Maze Vince. No, Maze Vince in the pit lane. Okay, I was expecting
retired.
another DNF, but that was actually planned from Maze Vince. He retires in the pit lane. So
come on, Maze Vince. He's not Mazepin.
I mean, surely not. Don't expect him to be. You don't know that. Okay, anyway.
Sector 3,
we
yellow
are
flag
now...
by.
Yeah, yellow flag is due to Mazevin's DNF in the pit lane, most likely. So, Crowley and Zoom still going at it between 1 second, over 1 second, underneath 1 second, still exchanging the gap from time to time. As of right now, we don't have too much to feast our eyes with. I mean, all we can do is just wait for another DNF and a possible safety car. We can stick with the top boys in P1 and P2, but also Larson is decreasing the gap towards Wonder Tommy, so that's a thing to look out for. He's got DRS on the Ferrari, so he's gonna get closer on this main straight. And now he's gonna have to go a whole nother lap without a mistake to actually have an attempt to overtake somebody in the future.
In order for you to overtake at the starting point, you have to be under 0.3 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. Or just make a huge dive bomb and expect the best. I mean, that is also possible.
Yeah, it's not safe.
I never said it was safe. I said it was possible. I mean, if you no longer go for a gap that exists, you know what happens. You are no more a racing driver. So maybe they will do something like that. I don't know. Maybe. I mean, Larson getting closer towards Wonder Tommy in a scenario in which either Naiko DNF'd so far or Inferno Koi made the move, so it's a 50-50 in here at this point. Still, oh, Larson with a